This dealership made one small mistake that saved my client $5,000 on the purchase.
So the deal got, I don't know how many times better that is, but it's a lot.
Yeah. Meet my client, Ben. Ben is a Ford fanatic who travels to Colorado pretty often so he can go mountain biking. He decided to work with me to find a car to purchase and rent out in Denver on his behalf. That way, when he's not in town, he has a car just out there making him money, and when he is in town, he has a car that he can use freely. The only issue is that he was so picky about the car and decided he wanted a black Ford Expedition Max with all the bells and whistles on it, and his budget was only $25,000.
What made you want to own a car in Denver, even though you don't live here?
Honestly, my good buddy that I mountain bike with told me about, list a few vehicles with you guys, and said it's pretty successful and able to pay for them. And we come up to Denver all the time to mountain bike, ski, and visit family. I got two sisters that live here, so we spend so much money in rental cars every year. When I heard about this opportunity, I'm like, man, that just makes sense to be able to keep something up here and make some passive income, plus also have something to use. So yeah, that was a deal for me for sure.
We got to work, and this led to a nationwide search for what ended up being one of the best deals that I have ever seen on a used car. Every car we would find was too expensive, too many miles, too low of trim, the wrong color, the list goes on. But in due time, we finally found a car that had a small mistake on the listing that would end up saving Ben thousands of dollars.
When you first were talking to me, you were like saying how you wanted this Ford Expedition Max, and you wanted to find a car that was black, high trim, and you were saying, oh, I want to spend around like 20-something thousand.
Right.
And I thought you were crazy.
Yeah, I know. I kind of figured you thought that.
Did you think that was a bit ambitious?
Yeah, I always shoot for the lowest price I can get on something. I buy a lot of vehicles. So yeah, I thought finding something for 20 was going to be a stretch, but ended up being a way better deal than what we even thought.
After a few days of searching, there was one car that would end up catching Ben's eyes. It was a 2018 Ford Expedition Max with all the bells and whistles on it, and it was in the black color that he wanted. The car was located all the way in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It was listed at $30,000 on the dealer's site, but after inquiring, they instantly dropped it all the way down to $25,000. According to the Carfax, that car was valued at $27,000 if you're buying it from a dealership. So we already had them down $2,000 from what we should be buying it at market value. This made us pretty excited about possibly buying this car. So we instantly sent MJ, a mobile mechanic in the area, straight to the dealership to check out the car for us. He got there within an hour, and while he inspected the car, we sat back and waited on the results. His instructions were very clear. Just help us get the price down as low as humanly possible. He came back with a super clean inspection. The only minor things was some cosmetic issues, some paint issues on the hood and the roof of the car, and a couple minor dents.
What did you think of MJ's inspection, and were you surprised by the results or excited about the results?
Yeah, so I've never purchased a vehicle without seeing it in person. That's the first time I've ever done that. I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and this was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And yeah, so having a mechanic go there and check it out and verify it and find other things was very beneficial and definitely worth the cost for me for sure. And he was able to find a few, cosmetic things and different things that wasn't at my attention. And so we were actually able to get them down lower on the price. And so I think we were like 25 and got them down another $1,000 or something like that.
But otherwise, this car was good to go and had his seal of approval. So we were pretty pumped about moving forward. We wanted to negotiate the price of the car one last time with MJ's results. And so Ben called them all concerned about the scratches and the small dents on the car and was able to get the dealership down to $21,500 instead of that $25,000 they had agreed on. That means that one inspection by MJ would save him about $3,500.
Between you and me, how much would you pay for the car?
Man, honestly, I probably would have bought it at like 24, 25 range. I mean, yeah.
And the deal was about to get a lot sweeter. So the dealership sends out all the paperwork so that he can sign, and he eventually pays for the car. And now he's so pumped about the new purchase that he made, and he's looking through all of the photos on the listing and discovers one small mistake.
Tell me about what you found in the listing.
Yeah, so just everything's all said and done. I'm just at home, just kind of bored and wanted to go back over the listing again, and sitting there on the couch, scrolling through all the pictures again, looking at what I just bought, and then came across the one on the odometer, and it said 99,148 kilometers on it, and nobody noticed that. And I'm like, there's no way that they left it in kilometers and didn't pick it up. And sure enough, that was the case, and we just changed it back, and we got 61,713 on it now. So
like 40,000.
Yeah, 40,000 miles less than what we thought it had on it when we purchased it. So the deal got, I mean, I don't know how many times better that is, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
The dealership had the car listed at 99,000 miles. However, when he looked a bit closer, he saw that it was actually in kilometers, not miles. So the car didn't have 99,000 miles on it. It had about 61,000 miles on it, which is about 40,000 miles less than the dealership thought it had. This one mistake made it so that the car's retail value, according to Carfax, was not $27,000, it was actually $32,000. Plus, other people who were selling similar Ford Expedition Maxes were selling them for around $35,000 on average. So Ben ended up with a car that would usually sell for $35,000 for just over $21,000.
There weren't any documents that said 61,000.
No. There was no documents. Everything that they had that they sent me, because they FedEx the title to me to sign at a DMV, because in New Mexico you have to sign the original documents. They can't email them to you. And even the title said 99,000 and change miles. I knew it was wrong because the pictures.
All right, so what you're gonna do, it's actually all over here.
Oh, really? Mine was on the steering wheel.
You hit settings,
Yep.
and then go to general. And then it's all right there.
Kilometers, let's change that back to miles, baby. Just got really good.
To make this deal an even bigger financial win for Ben, he's working with our Denver management team so that the car can be rented out to customers on his behalf. He's just gonna sit back and collect checks at the end of each month. Cars under our management, like this Ford Expedition Max, are easily clearing $20,000 in revenue in a given year. Plus, anytime he's in town, he can now just book the car off for himself and take it out for his biking trips.
So yeah, why did you choose to work with me rather than somebody else?
Yeah, so after researching a lot and looking at other companies, I chose to go with Aaron and Arslan. And one of the main reasons was just being able to talk with you directly and, you know, texting and all that kind of stuff. And it just seemed really comfortable getting into it. And then also the dashboard. The dashboard was huge, just being able to, you know, pull up on my phone and see when the vehicle's booked so we can schedule our trips around it. Yeah, so that was a big thing. Me and my wife both do Airbnb. And so it was something similar to that where we can look on there and see when we have bookings. And it just made it really simple and see how much money we have coming in and all that kind of stuff. So the dashboard was definitely a huge selling point for me.
So congrats to Ben on buying a car for nearly $14,000 less than the market rate. Now all we have to do is take some photos of this car and it's gonna be rental ready.